What an incredible time to be alive. And I'm happy to be here. I got in a motorcycle accident 4 days ago, and I got banged up pretty good. I've been in bed for 4 days, and I wasn't able to do my weekly broadcast on Monday, which is my Tuesday here in Thailand, and Thursday. So I'm excited to be able to move around a little bit, and I'm really excited to share some of these downloads that we've really all been receiving. It's just that in the external world, as many of you know, you may not be able to hear me that well. Okay, here we go. In the external world, as you know, there's been a lot of distractions to try and keep us from stepping into our power at this incredible time that we all came here for. Yeah. So I wanted to speak a little bit about removing the struggle from this ascension process, which it is happening. I mean, we came here. Hey, Paul, great to see you. Yeah, I had my mic set up for a little bit of flute that I'm going to do here. And so removing the struggle from this process. Conscious awareness is really the only game in town. And what does that mean? What does that mean? And I want to let everybody know this is a live Q&A. So if you do have questions, feel free to post them in, because what it does is it can open up a lot of reflective opportunities and portals for mirroring for a lot of people that watch these. And a lot of this stuff might be new to them. And so they're sitting in the background. And so when people ask these questions, there are no stupid questions. We're all in this together. And this is a collective energy portal where we're all coming together and using our frequency and our intentions in our heart and our vibration to amplify this entire quantum field that we're all a part of. So I feel very honored to do this. And I am happy for anybody that pops in questions. And so, hey, Roz, great to see you. Janelle, Carrie Ann. We'll get to your question there, Roz. I'm struggling financially. And anything that I mirror, please don't take it personally, because I've had to navigate through all this. My entire childhood was based around lack. And that was mirrored back to me, financial struggle, my entire life. And hey, Arisha, great to see you. And I paid for all the courses on abundance and all the DVDs and the CDs and the two-handed tapping. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly. None of it worked. None of it. Because I was holding an underlying belief down in my solar plexus and in my subconscious. If your video is glitching, it's not on my end. Or maybe it is. We're all glitching at all times. It's just going. So take a breath and we'll all slow it down and set our intention for that. So first of all, our subconscious mind can only respond to what we are telling it. Hey, Sue, great to see you. Thank you for the beautiful reflection. So when we state and tell our subconscious mind, I'm struggling financially, the subconscious can only take direct orders. So what does it do? It goes, hey, everybody, we're struggling financially. Give us more evidence that we're struggling financially. And don't let this trigger you, because you've got to be able to see this. And I couldn't see this for a long time because nobody told me this. I watched the movie, The Secret. I bought 10 of them to give away for Christmas, and they still didn't tell you how to exactly do it. So stay with me, because now you're posting another statement saying that you're so connected and people are so rude and messed up. And yeah, they're mirroring you, the frequencies that you're holding within. So I'm going to really ask you to stay with me on this, because now that I'm in your question, it kind of completely took me out of my whole thing that I was going to do, but this is perfect. So thank you for showing up, because you are not the only one that's feeling this. This is why the media and the news and the fake COVID and the whole fear, wear a mask, surrender, go get the vax that's got the chip in it and the nanobots and all the other poisons. That's what they're trying to get us to do. So let's get back to removing the struggle from the ascension process, which is basically what we're in. No, you don't have to shut up, and don't apologize. See, that's the program judging you now, where you showed up to get something. And I'm doing my best. And like my teacher, Don Miguel Ruiz, everybody's my teacher, but somebody that helped me to see that my belief system and the programs that I were running were bullshit. Our belief system is a prison, 100%. Yeah, you might have a belief like love is the answer in every situation. That's one belief I kept. I also kept the belief that I believe that I am an infinite, unlimited divine being. Every other belief I let go of. So you don't need to apologize ever. Just notice when that program comes in to beat you up again and lower your vibration. Okay? And you can laugh at it and you can go, oh, isn't that interesting? 3 of the most powerful words you will ever use, because they stop the story and the judgments and the triggers and the fear and the low vibrational stuff from running. So isn't that interesting? Okay, so getting back to I'm struggling financially. I'm going to take that down because I'm not going to program everybody with that. Okay, so let's look at what will be the shift from anyone struggling financially. Beginning to program yourself with abundance, period. So how do we do that? How do we do that? Anybody that's watched my lives or read my book or watched my YouTube channel, I talk about this over and over and over. There are about 50 to 80,000 thoughts that begin running every single morning as soon as we awaken out of what we call the sleeping dream. If we do not set our intention every single morning to program ourselves with that which we do desire, then those 50 to 80,000 thoughts are going to carry in the lower vibrational 3D programming and any wounds or beliefs that we may be holding. But the beautiful thing is, if we commit to these simple tools, it will shift everything. And I'm living proof. And I don't say that with any type of an ego at all. I struggled for the better part of 40 years. I was suicidal several times. And then I was invited to look at my belief system. I'm a little distracted because I don't want to keep this stuff up on the screen here, programming people. So I was invited to look at my belief system, and I realized that they weren't even mine. None of my beliefs were even mine. Yet we're running them over and over and over and over again, which is how they've kept everybody stuck in separation, Republican versus Democrat, white lives matter, black lives matter, all the different religions, Catholic, you can see this stuff, giving your power away to something outside yourself, hoping that a God or somebody is going to save you. You are the God. You are the God. Get it? It's okay to be that powerful when you are coming from love, from the heart. That is your power center. So, if we do not consciously and intentionally create our reality at the beginning of every single new day, and then everybody that journeys with me and goes through the 30-day transformation one-on-one with me, it's essential. They must do this every single morning. And on top of that, they set 20 alarms on their phone to go off every hour. How many people do you know that do that? I don't know that many people that do it. In fact, I don't know any people that do it other than the people that go through this process. And yes, there are people that stop to meditate and things like that. Don't stick with me here. These are the simple processes that will change your life and allow you to step out of the lower vibrational 3D matrix. And unless you do, you will not go beyond it, simply because it's all about frequency and vibration. So what is it that sets our internal frequency and vibration? It's our thoughts, our words, and the emotional frequency, excitement, fear, doubt, anger, shame, guilt, hatred, whichever ones we put on top of that, gratitude, excitement, compassion, love, the highest frequencies. You've got to be aware of the frequencies that you're running. So we intentionally set these every day, but there's one piece of the puzzle that must be completed. And there is no way around it. You can't fake your way around it. You can't slide around it with all this spiritual new age talk. You can't do it. And that is the inner healing, if any needs to be done. So how do we know if we're holding anything that we need to heal or clear? Well, do you get triggered during the day? Do you judge others? I was a judgeaholic. Anybody that's been following these things knows I was a judgeaholic. I was taught to be a judgeaholic. I grew up in Catholic school, starting in the second grade in the Catholic Church, where it was Judgment Day every single day. Every single day. That was the program. And they did it really well, with a little bit of love thrown in back here. If you're lucky to get into heaven, on what day? Judgment Day. It's one of the most deceptive energy harvesting programs on the planet. That's a whole nother topic. So, how do we know if there's anything to heal or clear? One of the greatest and fastest tools for doing this and figuring out, am I holding any wounds at all, is to close your eyes, take a couple of slow breaths. I like to put my hand on my heart because I feel into my body. Feeling is healing. Thinking is not necessarily healing. And I ask myself, and I have everybody go through this process in week 1. Is there anybody that I still need to forgive in my life, including myself, or any person or entity in the external world? You may want to write that down if you haven't done this process, because until one does this, they're still, hey Davia, they're still holding on to lower vibrational wounds and energies. Until you do the inner healing, and it's so easy to do. This is the part that's mind-blowing to me. I take people through this process in 1 hour, and then within a couple days, a week, it's done. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years of holding on to these things because nobody taught them how to do it. And now it's time, people. The energies are here to support us. We came here for this. Anybody that's alive right now, anybody that's listening to this, came here to create the shift. And it's on. It's already happened. It's just there's a little bit of tidying up to do for some of us. I'm just speaking for myself. And I don't even know if the fears that I feel from time to time or the lower vibrational frequencies, if they're even mine or they're the collective. The beautiful thing is it doesn't matter. The process is the same. You go in, you stop. As soon as you feel a trigger or you have a judgment about anybody else, every single judgment that we have is about us. End of story, period. In the beginning, that may trip your trigger a little bit. And the mind will go, well, what about these people that are, harming the children and poisoning the air, food, and the water? Yeah, well, they're being dealt with. And the greatest way to create the shift is through forgiveness. It doesn't mean if you saw somebody harming a child that you wouldn't step in and stop them. I would be the first one to do that in a second because it's all about the children right now. But for us, the fastest way to raise our vibration and move out of the recycling lower vibrational 3D timelines is to do the healing process. So again, super easy. Is there anyone that I need to forgive in my life, past lives, present, including myself? Then write it down on a piece of paper. Write it down. And if you don't want to write it down, then know that your ego is winning and you're going to stay stuck over and over and over. And you're going to attract the same type of people in life and relationships over and over and over. Now, this isn't a death sentence. This is just the way that the law works. We are in a vibrating hologram, and there are all these different timelines out here, every single thing that we can imagine. And the key is to align our vibration and frequency with the chosen desired outcome. Money, abundance, relationship, perfect health, anything we desire, a healed planet, 5D and beyond, time travel, multidimensional beings, reversing our aging. Do you talk to your cells every day? If you don't, I invite you to start doing that first thing in the morning while you're creating your day. Because you have trillions of cells in your body, and they're consciously aware of every single thought, every single word, and the emotion that you put behind that. Are we having fun yet? That's one of the big keys. This can get really intense. Oh, we got to forgive. We got to heal. We got to do all this shit. Well, you know that you can navigate through all this very playfully, like a little child. And if you take nothing away from this right now, ask yourself, am I setting my intention to be playful every morning? And if I'm not, then what can I do? Hey, Brad, great to see you. Then what can I do to start to create my reality with the unlimited, playful mindset of a little child? And if you need to come back and watch this, it's at 18 minutes. This will be on my YouTube channel, Portal to Awakening, shortly after the broadcast. These are the keys, friends. And don't believe me, don't believe yourself, but feel into the vibration of what's being transmitted here. Are you being playful? Are you consciously and intentionally creating your reality first thing in the morning as soon as you awaken and your head is still on the pillow? If you do not, the 50 to 80,000 thoughts are just going to start running, and you're going to pull yesterday's 3D right back in with you. And I'm not saying you didn't have an incredible day yesterday and you're not a magical manifester, because you are. It's just, what are you manifesting? And are you aware that you're manifesting in every moment? And if you're not consciously manifesting and you don't have your alarm set or your notes or these processes set throughout the day, that the 3D distractionary media and advertisements and all this shit they tell you need that you don't need, and low vibrational food and drink and drama is going to pull you down. That's what it's set up to do. And we've got to be able to see it in order to move beyond it. because we cannot dismantle a program that we cannot see. But it's so easy to see it once you learn the tools. So the tools again are, number one, essential, complete inner healing. It's not that difficult. I talk about it on almost every single thing that I do. Why? Because it's the most important piece. And this is what I get to walk through with 4 to 5 people every month. And it's completely life-changing. And everybody's like saying the same thing. Why aren't we taught this in the first grade? And we will be. The school system is being dismantled. It's falling apart as we speak. It's crumbling. All of the old systems are crumbling. It's fabulous. It's fascinating. And we came here for this. So number one, complete inner healing. 99% of it can be done through forgiveness. If there's any resistance to forgiveness, notice that that's your ego not wanting to let go. It just hasn't learned yet that if you do that, then you and your ego can play every day. You don't have to keep running the same survival, protection, judgment, have your walls up, can't trust people. No, you get frickin' playful. You are the master. And yeah, you have boundaries. You can feel the frequency. Anybody that comes in that tries to hijack your energy or whatever, you're like, nope. And then when you're really confident, you can just mirror them and you go, you know what? I'm not sure if you're aware, but you're running this program. And when you invite them with no judgment, this is the key in all relationships. Most people get this wrong. They wait until they're triggered and then they point and they go, you're doing this to me. Nobody's doing anything to you. Unless they're physically assaulting you, then obviously get out of that relationship. But when we are healing, we must realize every single judgment is about us. Because you can't be triggered into judgment unless you're holding that frequency. And this is tricky because at first the mind's going to go, no, it's all these people out there that are doing bad things. The hologram is reversed. If you can get that or be open to that, you can start to have some aha moments. It's deep. It's trippy. It's the greatest illusion ever. And I don't have it all figured out. You must figure out for yourself what resonates as truth for you. But what I found out is it all comes down to frequency and vibration of our thoughts, our words, our intentions, our emotions. And then getting excited every single day, getting playful like a little child. This is the key. This is where we're going. The new kids that are coming into the planet, they know this. They know this. They know that school is a programming factory to dumb them down, steal all their natural imagination and abilities, and tell them or try and teach them, not teach, program them what to think instead of how to think. So this whole system's crumbling. It's great. It's great. But yeah, there's going to be some triggers going along. But if you can see it, you can go, okay, I came here for this, and this has to happen. So, okay, so number one piece of getting out of the 3D matrix, complete inner healing, super easy. And when I say that, if that triggers you, then I invite you to use that very powerful 3-word mantra. Isn't that interesting? And it's okay to be pissed. It's okay to be fucking pissed. But don't project that out to other people and don't allow your body to hold that because that'll create disease. Clear it. So go, okay, I'm pissed. Now, what's this trying to teach me? What is this trying to teach me? I know something is trying to come through right now because I can feel the frequency. It's not love. So there's a big gift here. Isn't that interesting? So when we say, isn't that interesting? It stops the story from running about, he did this, they did this, they're doing this, and then 4 hours later, you're still pissed off, or 4 years later, or 4 decades later, you're still pissed off at the person that did this to you when they were one of your greatest teachers. And it was all agreed upon before you even came into this life on your soul's contract. Got to get this. You got to at least be open to this. You don't have to believe me. In fact, don't. But check it out. So, first part, complete inner healing, forgiveness. Got to be done. If you would like some assistance with that, reach out, follow that link at the bottom. My website, Portal to Awakening Transform. It's a new month. I have 4 spots open to journey with people. And it's the most life-changing journey that I've ever been on. And I've done plant medicines and they're good, but this is completely different. You must go in and do the inner healing and see what the belief system is and how the ego reacts to anything that triggers it and it feels threatened. Your belief system is a prison. Until you get that, you will never get out of 3D. You just won't. Unless you have some frickin' Kundalini mind-blowing expansion thing that I've never seen. This is the journey for the most part. Don't get mad at me. I'm here to assist for anybody that this resonates with. And if it doesn't resonate, you know how to use the scroll button. So part 1, complete inner healing. No getting around it. And it's easy. If you don't think it's easy, your ego is lying to you only because it's afraid. Don't let it do that anymore. Grab the book or reach out to me or go watch the videos on my YouTube page. They're all free. Come on. I paid over $100,000 in 30 years of my life for this stuff. It's time. It's here. And I love doing this with people. It's the greatest thing besides being out in nature or playing music or hanging out with the wild jungle dogs. This is it. This is what we came here for. And things are going to escalate very quickly moving forward. Just watch. It's going to be better than you ever imagined. As long as you don't get the vaccine. And if you did, then just give your body a bunch of love. And that will be dealt with. But so part 2 of moving out of the 3D matrix, it must be done. Seeing what the belief system is, where you got it, that it's not even yours, and that you were programmed. And then seeing how the ego reacts and gets triggered to anything, number 1, that challenges your beliefs, because the ego feels threatened. And it was, the ego doesn't even really exist. It's a survival program based on frequencies and energy to keep you safe. So it wants to be in control. So anything that challenges your belief system until you see that your belief system is a prison. And then if something challenges, you'll go, isn't that interesting? Let me feel into the frequency of that. I'm not sure. So I'll either wait to get more data and I won't be triggered and I'll just keep my frequency high. It's that freaking simple when you're able to see how the program in this whole vibrating quantum field of frequencies and energies works. It's that simple. It's why the external has all these distractionary programs so you won't see how freaking simple it is. Am I getting excited? I feel like I'm getting excited. Okay? This is key. This is the whole thing. You don't need to go to school for 12 years and then pay to be in the satanic club of the universities, to be in the club, to make a little bit more money, to be squeezed, to be part of a deceptive soulless entity corporation that's deceiving people. All right? So I'm getting a little bit of rant out here while I'm doing what I'm doing. Okay? Part 1, complete inner healing. Forgiveness will clear 99.99% of it. Write down on a piece of paper anybody that you need to forgive. And when you can get to where you can thank them for perfectly playing their role on your agreed upon soul contract, then you'll know that you're moving out of 3D. I'll say it again. When you can get to the point where you thank every single person for perfectly playing their role as part of your agreed upon soul contract before you came down here, then you will be ready to move out of 3D. Now, this can be really tricky and touchy, and I'm not intending to trigger anybody because I journey with people who have been sexually molested, raped, had people killed in their family. Okay, we got to deal with it. The sacrificing of children for adrenochrome. Okay, I journey with people that have been affected by this. Okay, so I'm not going to ask anybody to thank somebody that harmed or murdered their children. No, but you must understand and get to the point that somehow, some way, it was hard to listen to being lectured. Hey, Danny, if it's not for you, move along, brother. This is for people that want to hear it. And if you feel like you're being lectured to, then look at your trigger. I'll just post his comment so you guys can see what I'm dealing with here. Lighten up a little. Yeah. So somewhere in Danny's life, he was talked down to, and I'm reflecting that back to him. So yeah, it's okay, brother. I understand. So thank you for sharing. But if it's not working for you, then go somewhere where it works for you. But I'd look at that trigger because that's one of your keys. So must do the inner healing. Must dismantle the belief system. And the third part is waking up every morning and throughout the day, consciously creating your reality and understanding that it's the frequency that you're holding. Is your frequency playful? Are you excited? Are you in gratitude? And the final part, which is super key, which they don't tell you in The Secret. Thank you, Elaine. I love you too. Yeah, it's interesting, you know. I can trigger people. I don't trigger a lot of people, but yeah, this is the inner W-O-R-K. I don't like that word, so I spell it out because it's a spell. It's got some heavy energy to it, but you know, this is where we look at our stuff, and freedom is just on the other side. You know, if I had somebody that was teaching me this simply 20 years ago, I wouldn't have had to go through everything I went through, pay all the money month after month after month, and go through hell. Nobody taught me how to put these pieces together this simple. I had to figure it out on my own, and it works. And for those that are ready, this is it. And there's nothing faster that I've ever found. And I don't say that with any ego. Yeah, don't take it personally. If you get triggered, it's showing you a wound. That's all there is to it. It's as easy as I can say it. So every time we have a judgment, every time we have a trigger, it's about us. When you learn to track your frequency, the process that I take people through is unlike anything else I've ever seen. You literally track the frequency of every thought, every word, every emotion all day long, all day long. Now you might be thinking, I can't do that. I have to work a job, or I'm a mom, or whatever. Well, you can do it, and you will do it, and you are doing it, and you will do it more and more as you see that that is the only way out of the 3D matrix. As long as you're holding any judgments, any fears, any doubts, it's okay if a fear comes up. I still have them. I have things come up. I don't know if they're mine or they're somebody else. Yeah, ho'oponopono. It's great. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And then I flip it around. I'm sorry, I forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Every which way, flip it around so that you clear all the energies. Because until you're operating in love, kindness, gratitude, compassion, and forgiveness, you're going to attract 3D timelines. It's all there is to it. The great news is that you can clear it so quickly, 17 people, 17 comments. I love it. Thank you for those of you that have, stayed on here for 35 minutes. To me, this is the only game in town. And it's not always easy for me to come on here and I'm like, what am I going to say? I say the same thing every time. But then people reach out to me and they go, you've changed my life, hearing what you said. And really, like I say every time, I'm only talking to Jeff to remind myself. If you guys get something out of it, great. But for me in this lifetime, these are the tools. It's it. And it's this simple. If you commit to doing it, but you've got to commit to doing it every day. Otherwise, the 50 to 80,000 thoughts will keep pulling you out of it. And you'll keep going down the rabbit hole and you'll read the next spiritual book and the next spiritual book and the next spiritual book. And your mind will go, that's really good. That's really good. That's really good. That's really good. That's what I did. I owned every spiritual book, all the top, New York Times, but every one, you name it. Me and my girlfriend owned it back in 2001. And then I met my mentor and he got me to look at the belief system and I went, wow, everybody is responding and reacting to either anything that challenges their belief system or to a wound that they're still holding. The light bulb went off so big. It's like, oh my God, that's it. And everybody's being distracted so they don't go in and do the simple process of healing and dismantling the belief system. If you do that, every single thing in your life and your relationships, your abundance, everything is just going to be magnetized to you. We are walking magnets. Period. We are walking magnets, whether we are aware of it or not. And it's those frequencies that are down here that we may not have cleared, which are running the show, no matter how spiritual we are and what good face we put on and be all positive and do the EFT tapping, money comes to me easily and effortlessly. That didn't work for me because that process did not teach me how to go in and clear the underlying stuff. And I even did EFT tapping for wounds. I had to really go in and do the forgiveness process. And one of the biggest parts was forgiving my own shame and guilt that was so heavily laid on me in Catholic school. It was the most demonic, satanic programming system disguised as love ever. So if you're into the church and it's working for you, great. There's a lot of good-hearted people in the church. But when you got to kneel down and pray to a man who's nailed to a cross out of any other thing they could have put in there, and you're eating his flesh and drinking his blood, hello? It's all been inverted. And this is a tough one to wake up to. And if you don't want to do it, it's okay. But the bottom line is, when you're willing to admit that almost every single thing that we've been taught has been a lie to keep us stuck in the inverted 3D matrix, then you can get pissed off and then go, okay, fuck, now I see how they did the program. Now it's all about my beliefs and my frequency and vibration. So what do? I wake up every morning on the pillow. I set my frequency. I love on every single cell. Are you guys talking to your cells every single day? Are you loving on your body every single day? If not, why not? Does it feel weird, especially to the guys out there? Because I journey with a lot of men, and this can be uncomfortable for them until I explain it, and then they go, "Fuck, I get it now." Why do men have more heart attacks? Why do, disease? Disease is created in the body through subconscious thoughts more than it is through food, low vibrational food and drinks. That's secondary. Okay? You can heal yourself from anything through loving on your cells and thanking them for getting your attention. So every morning, loving on yourself, first thing, and then envision what it is that you have manifested into your reality. Key. Not that you're going to or that you're trying to. No. That tells your subconscious that it's still in the future. Subconscious only knows how to take direct orders. You may want to write that down. In fact, I'm going to pop it in here. Subconscious only knows how to take direct orders. When you say, I hope, I wish, I need, I should, I'm trying, that's all weak-ass 3D spells. That's telling your subconscious it's not here yet. It's in the future. So, yeah, super key. So, thank you again to everybody that's hung on here. Yeah, I read your book in a day and a half. Yeah, thank you for supporting it. Here's the key. Here's one key, okay? The mind wants to read things really fast. This little tiny book, it's not big. Everything's inverted in my screen, in my camera, so I'm dyslexic. But look, it's not big. Yeah, you can read it in a day. The key is to embody it. It's deceptively tricky. Like you could just read it and go, oh yeah, that's great. I'm going to go get the next book. If you go through the 3 processes in this book and you commit to doing them every day, it'll change everything in your life, in relationships. And if you want to grab it or give it to somebody as a gift that's having a hard time right now, there's a half-price link. You can download it immediately on my website. And if you want to get it printed out, you can print it out for a couple bucks. My students do that. I don't like to call them students because they're actually my teachers. They're my greatest teachers. But yeah, it's great stuff. Yeah, Elaine says, yeah, guilt and shame are toxic. They're the lowest vibrational frequencies. They harm the body. That's what the church knows how to do. That's why they do it. So I intend it you found this valuable. If anybody else has any questions, feel free to pop it in. What we're going to do is, what I love to do on every one of these is, we're going to ramp up our vibration and we're going to blast it out to the whole planet in just a minute here. So I'm just going to scroll through these questions real quick, see if there is anything. Yeah, I'm not getting into the conspiracy stuff today. That's just low frequency stuff. All I can tell you is if it raises your vibration, focus on it. If it doesn't, let it go. That's the trap. That's the trap. Okay? I can post certain things that I've researched because I'm here to assist the rescuing of the children. That's part of my thing. And so occasionally I post stuff like that. And I do it because it needs to be done, or it feels like it's helpful to raise awareness. It's things that most people don't want to touch. Most people don't want to admit. And that's why they've been enslaved. And that's why most people in all high positions of government are either involved in child sacrifice, in pedophilia, or they got blackmailed into doing what they're doing. And until people are willing to look at this, it's just going to take longer for it to go away. So forgiveness is the key. So let's rock this dream here. Let me pull this down. Okay. So if anybody is interested in the 30-day experience with me, one-on-one, you can go read about it by reading that little scrolling link down there. Go read what's involved. And if you're truly ready for the greatest shift, or one of them, and the greatest thing about this stuff is it lasts. You will never, fall back into the old programs again for more than a second or a couple seconds or a minute. Because once you see the program and dismantle all that, and it happens very quickly. So let's rock and roll and give ourselves some big love here. So let's go in and love on our bodies and amplify our frequency and vibration. And as we're doing this, again, feel into your body, breathe into it, and smile and love on every one of your cells that's been unconditionally loving you since you've been in the womb. Unconditionally, through thick and thin, through all the, in my case, stupid things I've done. Drugs, alcohol, shame, guilt, motorcycle accidents, car accidents, beating myself up, negative self-talk, all that stuff. So this is what I do every single morning. So let's tune into these frequencies. I'm going to play some of this flute, and we're going to love on our body deeper than you ever have before, or at least equally, and know that you're on the call with all these incredible people, and we are collectively affecting all of that. And it is happening. So let's do it. So here we go. Tune into your body. Love on it. Oops, sorry about that. I got to run the mic through the speaker, otherwise you won't hear the delay. So, all right, here we go. All right, so tune in on the deepest level that you can. Your body has been loving you unconditionally while you've been asleep every single day. Are you smiling? We're going to send all of that collectively out to the entire planet for anybody that needs a little bit of love, a little bit of healing, a friend, anybody that's feeling alone at this time. Just blast it out and smile knowing that it's being received. Thank you, everybody, for showing up, for you, for allowing me to be me. Oh, I got this flute from Blue Bear Flutes. There's their logo. BlueBearFlutes.com in New Mexico. I had it sent over to me from Thailand. Yeah, it's all made out of cedar. It smells amazing. Take a whiff. I like it. It looks like a shotgun. Yeah, it's great. It's very easy to learn how to play. So yeah, thank you, everybody. Know that the light is one. Know that setting your frequency first thing every morning and seeing anything you desire is already here now, not in the future. See it here now and smile in that knowing that if it is for your highest good, it will manifest. It's already here. It's just simply you aligning your frequency. Big love. Have an incredible day. And thank you to everybody that shares these broadcasts. I greatly appreciate you. And I'll be back on Monday and Thursday, 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. Big love. Keep your frequency high. Stay excited. We are rocking this.